Hello Wanderers, today we'll be taking a look at 10 of the most exciting houses to play as in the new A Game of Thrones mod for Crusader Kings 3. And make sure to stick around to the end for a bonus dynasty that may just be the most fun of them all. Before we get started, it should be noted that the biggest players in the War of the Usurper naturally have the most detail, events, and possibilities for power compared to any of the lesser houses. Targaryen, Baratheon, Stark, and Lannister are all going to make for a dynamic and fun playthrough, but we're going to be looking at some of the smaller families of Westeros that have something unique or interesting about them that sets them apart from the other dynasties of the Seven Kingdoms. First up in our list of interesting houses to play as is House Dayne. While they may only play a small role in the books and briefly appear in the show, House Dayne looms large in the history of Westeros. Many of their knights have gone on to become illustrious warriors, none more so than Sir Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning, who wields the famous sword Dawn, said to be forged from the heart of a fallen star. Raising a warrior worthy of wielding Dawn and becoming the greatest knight in Westeros is an excellent goal for a Dayne playthrough. House Whent is the seventh noble family to rule the cursed castle of Harrenhal. It was Lord Whent who hosted the great tourney at that ruined fortress, where the tourney's champion, Rhaegar Targaryen, named Lyanna Stark as the Queen of Love and Beauty. These events would spark the War of the Usurper, and House Whent is well poised to play an important role in this story, if they can survive the fate that befalls all who rule that ancient castle. Descended from the Barrow Kings of the First Men, House Dustin is a prominent family in the north, sworn to House Stark. In the timeline of the mod, Barrow Hall's current ruler, Lord Willem Dustin, is one of the companions of Ned Stark who rides to the Tower of Joy to rescue Lyanna after the war is over. Though canonically slain in the battle that takes place there, leaving no heir, a crafty player may reverse this fate and lead this house to a place of prominence among the lords of the north. Though the Valyrians may have largely perished in the event known as the Doom of Valyria, their descendants still live in both Essos and in Westeros. While the most famous of these are obviously House Targaryen, another Valyrian family, House Velaryon, also plays a prominent role in the events surrounding the Iron Throne. Known as a seafaring house, Velaryons often serve as admirals and masters of ships for their Targaryen rulers, whom they have served loyally for centuries. Some Velaryons have even become dragon riders, namely during the Dance of Dragons, and provide a very interesting option for players looking to play tall. Besides House Tyrell, the Hightowers are undoubtedly the next most prominent family in the Reach. Ruling from the titular High Tower at the mouth of the Honeywine, the lords and ladies of the house hold the city of Oldtown within their domain, and many lesser lords and knights are sworn to them. The Hightowers can field a much larger army than any other in the Reach besides the Tyrells, and are even as rich as House Lannister. Those looking for a unique and powerful family with plenty of upwards potential will be well suited to a Hightower playthrough. As some of the principal bannermen of the Vale, House Royce of Runestone is an excellent choice for players looking for a martial-focused game. Fielding more troops than any other house in the region, and being led by the skilled warrior and commander Bronze Jon Royce, they wield enough power to play an important role in any war in the Seven Kingdoms. The house is an ancient one as well, once leading the first men of the Vale against the Andal invaders, eventually succumbing and swearing fealty to House Arryn, and remaining loyal to their liege lords for many centuries since. Though not the most powerful house in the Iron Islands, House Drumm rules over Old Wick, considered to be the holiest of the islands of the Ironborn. Their house includes many storied members, including great and terrible reavers as well as supposed necromancers. What sets the Drumms apart from the other noble families of the islands is their possession of the Valyrian steel sword Red Rain, which may have been the hereditary weapon of the extinct House Reign of the Westerland. Ruling the city of White Harbor, the largest and most populated settlement in the north, House Manderly presents a unique position as being one of the only noble families in the region to worship the faith of the Seven. Originally hailing from the Reach, along the banks of the Mander River from which they get their name, the Manderlys were given refuge by House Stark, an act for which they have been eternally loyal. Currently ruled by Wyman, sometimes known as Lord Lamprey, and other derisive monikers mocking his immense size. However, this crafty ruler of White Harbor has plenty of intrigue and power, and would be a perfect choice for players looking for a playthrough featuring both war and skullduggery. House Tarth of Evenfall Hall is one of the most prestigious families in the Stormlands, with current members even claiming kinship with House Targaryen. They rule over the island of Tarth, known as the Sapphire Isle for the beauty of the waters surrounding it. The current lord, Selwyn, is known as the Evenstar, and is considered to be a good man. The house finds itself in an excellent position for a tall playthrough, developing the island and becoming a prominent power in the Stormland. Of all the families mentioned thus far, House Brune is by far the smallest and least important. Ruling over small holdings northeast of King's Landing, the Brunes find themselves in a unique position of potential expansion by bringing their neighbors to heel and naming themselves as the Lords of Cracklaw Point, much as their ancestors, the brothers Brune, did many centuries ago. For those who have stuck around to the end of the video, our last entry in the most interesting houses to play as in CK3's Game of Thrones mod are the Thenns. Ruling their lands far north of the Wall, the Thenns will provide players with one of the most dynamic playthroughs available in the mod, having the potential to subjugate their lesser wildling neighbors and lead a massive army against the Wall and those who live south of it. With the unique struggle mechanics of the wildlings, combined with their position of relative power and prestige, along with a unique religion that worships the Magnar as a living god, makes this easily one of the most fun factions to play as in this entire mod. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications for more videos in the future.